There we go. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Comics a la Mode. I am your host, Russ. As you can see, I'm the only person here. Landon is not here today. Again, sometimes work happens. So I'm gonna be soloing it. So this may be a very quick episode, but you know what? We're gonna play with it. We're gonna have fun. So we're gonna start off with some news. There's not a lot going on in the world of there's not a lot. The writer strike is done. We've got a couple confirmations of things finally getting back on board. We've got Deadpool 3 is back, folks. They're back in the writer's room, which is great because one of the things that we had heard initially was that Deadpool, Ryan Reynolds wasn't able to ad-lib. They weren't allowing him to ad-lib because of the writer's strike. So it's good to see that he is back in the building and working on some ad-libs with Hugh Jackman and Sean Levy. Some of the biggest, the craziest stuff this last week has been the whole Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce stuff. And it was really funny because I saw on Twitter that Ryan Reynolds, Hugh Jackman, and Sean Levy were all at the last game with Taylor Swift. So I thought that was pretty funny. Could mean the news outlets are saying that Taylor Swift has a cameo. He's going to cameo. So who knows? Other than that, it's October 1st. It's Halloween month. And so everybody is gearing up for that. So there's a lot of spooky stuff. Marvel has announced that I want to say the week of Halloween, they're dropping Werewolf by Night, which they came out with last year. They're dropping it in color rather than black and white because they dropped black and white last year. So that should be interesting. Call of Duty has their big Halloween event with Spawn. I've been playing way too much Call of Duty because of Spawn. And so very excited for the new Call of Duty. I need to make sure my settings, that I was gonna say my tracking settings are off. You can see in the background, I've got the Council of Jokers right there, and then I got Batman and I'm just watching it. This now. It's from The Boys. Can't remember his name right now. And then we got Venom. And if I turn, I can never remember which way to turn. Spidey is right there too. But anyways, news wise, there's not a lot. So yeah, comics wise, I didn't read a lot either this week. I know a second episode of Batman and Robin is out. And then we also have the ongoing death or like the fall of the X-Men and stuff like that. So I haven't really caught up with that. I've been watching stuff though. Case in point, this week Gen V came out. So the boys, this is a boys spin-off series, and it's essentially it takes place in a college for super kids. And essentially what we found out from season 3 of the boys, or actually no, it's not even season 3, season 1 of the boys, you find out that superheroes are not born, they're made. And so this Gen V is essentially a school where they get a bunch, where they essentially give scholarships to people with powers and try to find superheroes that they can merchandise and put on the seven, um, eh, for that purpose. Out the gate, episode 1 is amazing. They dropped the first 3 episodes. Episode 1 is amazing. All 3 episodes are actually very fantastic. One thing that I really interested about this show is that they're playing with ideas that are pretty nuanced. The main character, what you find out, and I'm not going to spoil how she finds out about her powers and all of that, but what she does, one of the things that she finds out is that her powers are she can manipulate blood. And the way in which she does that is she doesn't manipulate other people's blood. What she does is she cuts her, and she can. You find out in the show that she can. But what she does is she cuts her hand and uses her powers that way, which is very interesting. One, they don't in the beginning they don't treat it as like, oh, there's something wrong here. It's just oh, this is how my powers work. But then her college roommate that she meets is a shrinker. Hey, I see that we have one person. Hello, hello, welcome, welcome. You guys can always hit the chat up and say hey. Her college roommate gets small, but what you find out is that her college roommate gets small by purging. So this show literally instantly introduces someone who has an eating disorder, or like is essentially bulimic, has like an eating disorder, and then the main character who essentially cuts herself. And they use it in a way that I'm actually very interested to see how um that back that like the psychology of it works. I'm very interested to see how that works. Because they're playing with those themes. They're not just playing with, oh, this is how her powers work. Because at one point, her she's kind of like pitying, and she's not really pitying her roommate, but she's kind of pitying her roommate. And um it's really funny because her roommate goes, yeah, well, you cut yourself, essentially. So very interested to um see what goes on. Very interesting so far. Sets up a murder mystery, which I think is really cool too. I'm very um excited to see where the show takes us, where the show continues to go on. If Landon was here, I know he watched the first episode, so I could ask him questions. But highly recommend it. It is very graphic, just so you all know. It's very much The Boys. It is a spin-off of The Boys, so of course it is. But yeah, very good show, very cool, very interested to keep going with it. What else did I watch this week? Oh, I watched I watched Netflix. So Netflix has been doing a lot of really cool animes. And we got a couple trailers, I think this last week, for they're making a Lara Croft anime. They're also making a sequel to Castlevania, which is one of the best shows on Netflix. Um, I rewatch it every year for Halloween because it is such a good show. Gonna start rewatching it this year again. Um, so then they have that, and then they have a Devil May Cry series coming out. Their Netflix's anime department and animation department is killing it, absolutely killing it. Um, I have every faith in the world that they're going to continue to make good shows. I am a little worried about the sequel to Castlevania because from what I'm hearing is that it is it's got 100% Rotten Tomato score, but it has a 58% viewer score, which I'm very skeptical of because I'm very worried that they're just going to lather on the wokeness. And that should be a load of fun. Other than that, there's not a lot other news wise. I did see a piece the other day. I think it was yesterday, and it was essentially the idea was, hey, you should watch this show, this trilogy before it leaves Amazon Prime because it's free, and it's the Planet of the Apes trilogy, the new one. I highly recommend this. Dawn of the Planet of the Apes is one of my favorite movies of all time. The motion capture and the CGI in this series is literally the best thing on the planet. War for the Planet of the Apes is like Logan for Caesar, but Caesar's a CGI character, and yet you feel all of the impact of that. It is absolutely some of the best. It's such a good movie. Rise is very good. James Franco does a great job as like the human lead and really setting up Caesar's story. Dawn of the Planet of the Apes does such a fantastic job of like making you forget humans even exist and then bringing them in to the movie in a way that's like, oh yeah, you're right. I forgot. Like this is still technically an origin story for Planet of the Apes, so of course the humans are still there. And then War wraps it up so well and does such a great job of like pitting Caesar against this other person, this human person, in a way that they it humanizes both Caesar and humanizes the general who he's up against. Let me know. I don't know. Hello. I don't know if my mic is. I still have congestion from last week. I know last week was just a dumpster fire of an episode, but it's okay. We move forward. Um, yeah, War for the Planet of the Apes is amazing. Again, CGI is amazing for the fact that most of the human characters in that show or in the movie don't really talk other than Woody Harrelson's character. It's fantastic. It's so good. Definitely watch that trilogy. And if any of my friends have not seen it, and anybody I know who has not seen it, and you want to watch it, just come over to my house. We'll watch it. Like I will watch that trilogy over and over and over again. It's phenomenal. Um, let's see. Let me look at Twitter real quick. Um, it's really funny because for the last couple of weeks I've talked about the Xbox PlayStation just fiasco of fans just zealous about everything. And it's crazy that has not gone away yet. It's absolutely insane. Um it's just wild. Like people need to just relax. It's fine. People can like the platforms that they have. You're not going to die. It's not going to kill you. But the review bombing and like the temper tantrums that the PlayStation community is throwing right now is crazy because the deal for Microsoft, as we talked about last week, the deal for Microsoft has all but gone through, and we'll finish up I think next week. So that should be very, very, very interesting. But so that's the kind of the news slash what we've been watching portion. I have been gaming a little bit. Cyberpunk is really good. I talked about it last week. So good. It actually plays really well now too. But other than that, I've been playing COD. But so because it's only me, and I struggle talking. We're gonna do a tier list. We're gonna do a Marvel tier list, and the one person in the chat, I swear, if you don't chime in, when I make a bad call on your part, like if you think I'm making a bad call, I want you to yell at me. I need to pull this up real quick. There we go. No, it's not enough because actually, let's go channel. Sorry. There we go. Make sure this is muted. Okay, cool. Okay, so I'm gonna pull this up. Let's go here. All right, boom. Okay, so this is the Marvel tier list, folks, and this has everything. This is all the Marvel shows and the movies minus the Netflix stuff. So we're gonna go. Oh my gosh. Oh, it's my brother. Hey Tristan, what's up, brother? Brother. All right, yeah. Well, your 2 cents doesn't count, just so you know. Okay, so let's start. Where should we start? Where should we start? Should we start in order of how these are in the MCU, or just wherever this list ends? Oh, okay. Let's go Ant-Man. Okay, this is Ant-Man Quantumania. This one was a train wreck of a movie. I need to make this camera smaller now that I see it. Released. What are you talking about? Here, we're gonna edit this. We're gonna make this smaller so that you guys can see it. We'll do it to F because there we go. Perfect. Okay. No, update. There we go. Okay, so here's the tier list. This is everything released, Tristan, if that's what you're talking about. This is everything that is released up till now. It's all on Disney Plus. So if you haven't seen these, then I don't know what to tell you. You need to get from start. Oh, okay. Yeah, let's do it. All right, from start from earliest release. So the first one, baby, we're gonna do Iron Man. Iron Man's goated. I love Iron Man, but it's a fantastic movie. I'm gonna put this in A. I don't think this is an S tier, but this is definitely A. It is quite the movie. It is a great. It's the first. It's the OG, right? Standalone film in and of itself, fantastic. I just recently rewatched this again, and I forget every time I go to rewatch Iron Man just how good it actually is. Robert Downey Jr. gets better as Tony Stark over time, but he's already good. Like he's already great as Tony Stark in this movie. Like he hits the nail on the head instantly. So that's an A tier. It's not an S tier. I know what my S tiers are, and I know I will piss somebody off with my S tiers. But anyways, okay. So Iron Man #1. Then what did we get? Was it? Okay. Hold on. Let me look at the movies in order. I need a list of this too, because seriously. Incredible Hulk. Incredible Hulk is #2. Incredible Hulk is a B. It is the first Captain America. Hold on, we're not there yet, Tristan. Jeez, just relax. Hold on. Hulk is a good movie. My issue is that I don't entirely like Edward Norton as Bruce Banner. I think Mark Ruffalo is a better Bruce Banner. I just wish Mark Ruffalo would have been able to get a solo Hulk movie, because I think he could have done so good in it. Hulk is a good movie. Like it is the story makes a lot of sense. It's a very good movie. I just don't entirely like Edward Norton as Hulk, but it's a good movie, so I'm going to put it in B. You know what? You're probably right, Tristan. I think I'm being too generous. I'm going to put this in C. You're right. You're right. Good call. Good call, Tristan. I was I was borderline B. I was like a B minus C plus, so we're going to put it in C. The next is Iron Man 2. Now, Iron Man 2 is not a great movie. It's not. But it is weirdly enough a guilty pleasure film for me. Um that it's actually a lot of fun. Hey, we got two people in here. What's up? Oh, wait. I think it's because I'm watching on another screen. Wow. Um uh it's not a good movie. It is a guilty pleasure film for me. Tristan, you say C? No. No, it's a D. It's a D. It's worse than the Hulk. The Hulk is better. Like objectively a better movie. Um the only reason this thing isn't an F is because Robert Downey Jr. is so good in this movie. And you get amazing dialogue like with my board. I want my board. Yes, my board. Um all the Iron Mans are at least C or above. No. No, no, no. 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 Iron Man 2 is a D. I do agree with the other two, but Iron Man is a D. Iron Man 2 is a D. Um, so then let's see. I think the next one is Captain America 1. Oh, no, it's Thor. Ooh, it's Thor. Okay. Shout out to David Christensen because Thor 1 is his favorite Marvel movie. Tristan, yes, Robert Downey Jr. makes them, but the overall script and the overall story of Iron Man 2 is just so all over the place. It doesn't focus in on one thing. Like it has so many it has the Michael Rourke and Whiplash and the fact that Tony Stark's dad screwed over Whiplash's dad. It has that storyline. Then it has the fact that Tony is dying, and then also using that as like a way to like show the comic storyline of Demon in a Bottle of his alcoholism, and it jams all of that into one movie and and then you also have the military trying to get a hold of his suits. There's so many different things going on that it doesn't feel cohesive at all. So it's a D. You're wrong. Um okay, Thor 1. David's favorite movie. I don't know. Tom Hiddleston, great in this movie. Um, Chris Hemsworth is fine in this movie. Um, but he's not. He doesn't really come into his role of Thor really until Avengers. Like I feel like Avengers 1 is really where it's like, oh, this is Thor. Um, I think this is a C. I think Thor is a C. Um, it's funny because I think Thor and Iron Man are in the same trajectory for me of this tier list. So you'll kind of see. You'd say C. Yeah, I would say C. Um, it's not a bad movie. It's actually a great movie. My issue is that Chris Hemsworth is a little stiff as Thor in the first one. The Victorian-esque era, or like the Victorian like esqueness of the movie is really cool. But again, I just feel like Chris Hemsworth is a little stiff. Everybody else is great in this movie. Okay, let's see. Next is Captain America 1. Captain America 1 is an A tier. A tier. This is where people are going to hate on me for the Captain America series because I don't think any of the Captain America movies are lower than a B. Captain America 1 is fantastic. It is one of my favorite. It's an absolutely amazing film. The fact that they pulled off a 1940s propaganda style film and then use that as like the theme for how they made this movie is absolutely astounding. I remember when Wonder Woman came out, there was a lot of comparing Captain America 1 and Wonder Woman 1. And my issue with that comparison is actually kind of the same. Um, Wonder Woman 1 does a really good job of showing the problems and like the catastrophe of war, because it's World War One. They do a really good job. That was never the plan. That was never the idea behind Captain America. They were trying to make this as if like, hey, if you're in World War II and you're watching a Captain America film, how is it gonna like? What's it gonna feel like? And that's what they made. It's literally it's such a good film. I have rewatched it. It holds up every time I rewatch it. It's an A for sure, for sure. Okay, now the next one, Avengers. First Avengers. This is also an A. The first Avengers, let me find it on this list. Avengers 1 is absolutely an A. Avengers 1 is such a tight script. Joss Whedon killed it with this movie. It sets up it does such a good job of juggling all the characters in a way that all of the characters make sense, while also realizing the fact that they recast Hulk for this movie. So we get Mark Ruffalo as the first time we're seeing him as the Hulk, and it just fits. It just kind of clicks. It makes sense. You don't even second guess it. The script is tight. Having Loki as the villain, absolutely amazing. He does. Tom Hiddleston is amazing, and his Loki is one of the most unmatched characters, especially a villain of the MCU. So good. It is definitely an A tier. This A tier is probably I'm probably going to be very biased, so this A may be really big, but we'll see. I know there's movies on here that I absolutely utterly despise, so we'll get into that. Okay. Next, Iron Man 3. Iron Man 3 is a B. Iron Man 3 is a B. I'm very interested to see if Tristan freaks out about this one. I like Iron Man 3 is actually a guilty pleasure film for me. The weird thing is like the later two Iron Mans are both guilty pleasure films for me for different reasons. Iron Man 2 is a guilty pleasure film for me because it's bad, but it's fun. It's still enjoyable. I enjoy it a lot. Iron Man 3 is a guilty pleasure film for me because it's a very I think it's a very good film. It's definitely it's also a fun Christmas movie because it is Christmas. Yeah, Tristan, it's an A minus B plus. I'm gonna keep it in B though. Because I don't entirely think it's on the same level as the first Iron Man, but it's still a very good movie. Robert Downey Jr. playing PTSD, like playing a Tony Stark that is having PTSD because of the events of the first Avengers, is so good. It's so good. The kid in this this movie, Hartley, is also a really good child actor, and he does a great job of both being annoying but also sweet. Um, and the stuff with his suits is very cool. We get the most suits in this movie possible. And it just has a very fun intro with the Christmas movie music and him dancing and putting on the suit. Excuse me. So it's definitely a B. What's the next one? Let's see. I literally have a list of everything because I can't remember which ones are which. Okay. Thor: The Dark World. Oof. This is worse. This is worse than Iron Man 2. Thor: The Dark World is an E. I can't put it F because there's a specific place in hell for Fs, and I know exactly which ones I'm putting there. I didn't even realize this had an E. Um, I'll put it in E. The reason I won't put it in F, I like the setting of this Thor movie more than all of the other Thors, even though it's probably the worst of them. Because this one leans into more of the medieval fantasy element of Thor and the realm of Asgard and the nine realms that in and of themselves. Um, that I love it because I think the suit looks really cool. I think Thor's longer hair looks a lot better than the shorter hair. I think Chris Hemsworth comes into his own as Thor. Like, it's not the best Thor he plays in this one, but it is very good. Like, it's a good Thor. I think everybody else around him um dropped the ball on this in this movie. So that's why I'll give this one an E. It's borderline F though, because the story in and of itself is just like atrocious, honestly. Um but I will say there are worse movies to rewatch on this list than Thor the Dark World. That's one thing I will say. There are redeemable parts uh in and of itself. I mean, Hemsworth is also in this movie, or not Hemsworth. I know Hemsworth is in this movie. Hiddleston is also in this movie. So yeah, so I'll give it that. Next, baby, we have Captain America, the Winter Soldier. S. S. Instantly S. Captain America, Winter Soldier is literally the best. I'm gonna look in the camera for this one. Actually, we're gonna go full screen too. Hold on. Technical difficulties. Captain America, Winter Soldier is the best Marvel movie. Period. Just so we're all clear. Okay, now let's move on. Captain America: Winter Soldier is absolutely the best Marvel movie ever. Sebastian Stan as Winter Soldier, he doesn't even talk. Sebastian Stan does not talk for 90% of the movie. Literally, almost the first half of the movie, the only only thing he says in the movie for like the first half of the movie is who's Bucky. That's it. That is all he says. But everything in his performance portrays exactly what you need to know about Winter Soldier and just how menacing and scary he actually is. Um Natasha Romanoff, Scarlett Johansson is great in this movie. Phenomenal. Nick Fury, phenomenal in this movie. Everybody is just on point. And then two, you get a new suit for Captain America. That's a good suit. The stealth suit is a great iteration. It looks amazing. The action in this movie, the Russo brothers just kill the action in this movie. The literally, I rewatch the knife fight between Cap and Bucky right when they first meet. As it ends with Cap realizing Bucky is Winter Soldier. I rewatch that scene on YouTube like once a week. It's such a good scene. The Russo brothers absolutely murdered this movie. It's a great movie. It says a lot. It's espionage heavy. It says a lot about current times without like shoving it down your throat and doing it in a um very nuanced way. Very nuanced way. So I'll just continue to gush about that movie if I keep talking. So I'm gonna move on. Okay, Guardians of the Galaxy 1. This one's hard. I don't think it's an A. I'll say that right now. I think it's a B. I don't think it's a C. I think it's a B plus. Guardians of the Galaxy 1 is a B plus. Tristan, I think that's a little harsh. Calling it a C, I think is a little harsh. Guardians of the Galaxy 1 is a very good script. It is a very well shot. It's a very concise movie. It's very there. It's very to the point. You get introduced to the characters and you instantly, it does everything it needs to do for you to love the characters instantly. The reason I don't put it as an A is because the other two Guardians of the Galaxy films themselves do a better job of portraying the space flight and like jumping to worlds so much better. Like you get more of a variety of worlds and a variety of more like space in those movies than this one. This one is very tight, it's very clean, it's very concise. It's good. It's just not my favorite. I actually think the other two are better than this one. So we're gonna put it at B. I don't think it's C. I think that's a little harsh. It's a very good movie. I just don't think it's a I don't think it's a C because I don't think it's on the par with Thor and Hulk either. Okay. Next one is Avengers Age of Ultron. Now this is probably the Marvel movie that let me down the most. Excuse me. This is definitely the Marvel movie that let me down the most. This is a C. This is absolutely a C. The sad part about this movie is there's so many pieces of this movie that are amazing on paper. James Spader as Ultron is probably the best casting decision of all time, of literally all time. And so it really sucks to me. It's painful to me that this movie did not live up to the expectations. Also coming out after the first Avengers as like the sequel, also kind of a big letdown. There's a lot of really interesting pieces to this. This Avengers Age of Ultron is kind of the Iron Man 2 of the Avengers franchise. It it sets up a shit ton, like a crap ton of things in this movie that should have probably been broken up into two movies if it was going to put this much stuff in it. But one of the things we did get out of this, we did get Wanda, even though she's absolutely atrocious in this movie. Hawkeye we see Hawkeye's family. Hawkeye gets a spotlight, which is really cool to me. And he's great in this movie. But yeah, everything else felt very disjointed. We got Vision out of this movie as well. But definitely a C. Definitely a C. All right, next. Let's see what's next. Ant-Man. Guys, sorry, I'm still congested from whatever I've been dealing with. So Ant-Man. Tristan, what do you think? I want to see your what do you think? Because I almost want to put this in A because I really liked the first Ant-Man, but I think I'm gonna put it B. Because Yellow Jacket is not that. The problem with this movie is like it's really good. Paul Rudd is really good in this movie. Evangeline Lilly, very good in this movie. Michael Douglas, very good in this movie. I just never liked Yellow Jacket. There was something never like fully gay. Like I didn't fully, I don't know. I didn't fully get there all the way. Oh wait, no, I did not say this was an A. I said this was a B. Yeah, so this is a B. And like looking at the other two Bs that I have, like I agree. I agree with why like this would be here. Okay. You're not a fan. You're not a fan of Ant-Man? That's wow. Are you a Paul Rudd fan? Question mark. They picked the perfect guy for Ant-Man. But okay. All right, cool. I agree. Just not a huge fan of them. Yep, makes sense. I agree. I get it. All right, next one. Captain America Civil War. Um do I put this in an S? I almost want to put this in S. I love this movie. Um I think this is an A. If I had an A plus tier, this would be an A plus tier. Because I think this is better. I think this is lower than S, but better than A. This movie is great. Yeah, I agree, Tristan. This movie is great. The conflict with Baron Zemo is fantastic. What his overarching villain plan is very good. Because the whole point it's not like, and Tristan, it's a really good argument for S. Like it is a very good. Yes, I've watched it multiple times too. Yeah, screw it. I'm putting this in S. I'm putting this in S. The more I talk about Baron Zemo's plan, like his plan is not all out villainy. Like that's not his plan. His plan is not to kill the Avengers or anything to that nature. His plan, and he this is essentially the first Marvel movie where a villain wins. Because in Civil War, the villain won. Like he did exactly what he wanted to do, which was split up the Avengers. And then finding out that like Winter Soldier is the guy who killed Tony's parents is a reveal that like is a retcon, obviously, but like such a good payoff at the same time. Like it makes sense. Um, and the yes, and yes, the end scene between Iron Man and Cap is gut wrenching. Absolutely, the him walking away, first off, he's my best friend. So was I. I was one. I was also one of your best friends. And then on top of it, then the secondary part to that of him walking away with Bucky and Tony being like, "You don't deserve that shield. My father gave it to you." And just watching Cap look at him and drop the shield and walk away, it's amazing. It's just amazing. And for the fact that they also introduced two characters in this movie in a way that did not feel like we were gypped out, like it just felt like a cameo, but did it in a way that we got enough of their story that it felt meaningful of why they were there. Like such a great intro of T'Challa and Black Panther, and such a great intro for Spider-Man. I don't think we could have had a better intro into the MCU of Spider-Man than we do in this movie. Fantastic. You're right. It's absolutely an S tier. Absolutely an S tier. All right, next one. Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange is a C. And I know a lot of people are going to hate me for that, saying this, that Doctor Strange is a C. But the reason I say that, Doctor Strange is literally Iron Man 1, just reskinned. Like, to be really honest, that's exactly what it is. It's a great movie. It's a very tight movie. And Benedict Cumberbatch is very good in this movie. I just think he's better as Doctor Strange in other movies, honestly. And so I just didn't really care for the overall plot. It was visually stunning, but I just didn't care about the movie all that much. All right, Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Where did we put Guardians of the Galaxy 1? Yeah. Guardians of the Galaxy 2 is I'm gonna put in B also. Um, it's not. It, it's a B plus. Guardians is probably a B. Guardians 2 is a B plus. Um, one thing that I loved from Guardians 2 is that the world hopping that they did in that movie is so much better than the first one. Like you globetrot a lot better. Kurt Russell is an amazing bad guy. I like what they did with that character. Um, so I'm very much a fan of everything about that movie. It's also just fun. Like it's fun. Everything with Nebula and Gamora is also great. Um, but the story is a little wonky, and so that's why I wouldn't put it at A, but I wouldn't put it at lower. I would put it at like a B plus, A minus. All right, next one. Oh, Spider-Man Homecoming. I enjoy this movie a lot. And this is a great film. I really do I love this film. Where are you? Spider-Man Homecoming. I'm putting this at A. I love this movie. I think this movie is fantastic. Tom Holland as Spider-Man is so good. My only quirk about this movie and most of the Spider-Mans in general is that he doesn't do a lot of web slinging like the previous Spider-Mans do, because he's not he's a kid. So of course he's like they show him like going up the side of the Washington Monument, and he like literally gets scared of like looking down. He's afraid of heights. He's a kid. He's 15. That's the part that this movie does so well, is showing this 15-year-old trying to be Spider-Man. Everything with Iron Man is great. Everything, the scene where he's like, I'm nothing without this suit. And Tony looks at him and he's like, if you're nothing with this suit, then you shouldn't have it. Is amazing. Amazing. A lot of criticism for this movie because everybody was like, oh, they're turning Iron Man into Uncle Ben. I will get to, once we get through all the Spider-Mans, I will give my little 2 cents about the Spider-Mans in general. Okay, let's move on. Next one is Thor Ragnarok. Everybody's gonna say A. Tristan's probably gonna say S. Actually, knowing Tristan, Thor Ragnarok is probably S tier for him. I'm willing to put this in A. Wow. Whoa, wait, hold on. What? You thought it was a okay. Well, now I kind of want to put it in B because I don't feel so weird because this movie's great. This is a great movie. I'm gonna put it in B. I agree. No, I want it in B. I don't want to put it in A. I didn't want to put it in A. I was gonna feel guilty, but by putting it in B. But you said B, so I'm vindicated. This movie is great. No, you can't change it. Sorry, can't change it. This movie is really good. It is great. Taika Waititi coming on board and really bringing up a lot of history flashbacks. No, this is the one. This is the one where Asgard blows up. Or wait, what happens? He gets attacked. He gets sent to another dimension. He runs into to Hulk. Hulk and him fight. That's this one. And then at the end, he loses his eye, blows up. It's great. The Taika Waititi does a great job with this movie. You know what? I'm gonna put this A. Actually, I do really enjoy this movie. I'm putting this A. It's an A minus, but I don't feel comfortable putting in B, honestly. My only issue is I really did like the aesthetic of Thor Dark World, and I wish they would have stuck with that. Because the problem that I have with Thor Ragnarok is when we get to Thor 4, is because it it essentially proved to Marvel that Taika Waititi should be the guy who just does whatever he wants, and it proved that it didn't work in um in Thor 4, but where this ends, it sets up Thor perfectly for Avengers Infinity War and Endgame. So I'm not mad about it. I do really do think this is an A. It's an A minus though. I'm going to be very clear. This is an A minus because I don't like what it where it, oh gosh. Next one's Black Panther. I'm going to get so much hate for this. Where are you? Black Panther is I want to put it in C so bad. I want to put it in C so bad. It's B. I don't like Black Panther. I'm going to tell you right now. The only thing you better not, dude, Black Panther is so overrated. The only reason, it's a B minus. It is a B minus C plus. The only reason Black Panther gets the acclaim it does today is because the Black community came out and showed for it. That's it. It's the CG in Black Panther is some of the worst CG I've ever seen in any movie, in any Marvel movie specifically. The story is the only redeeming aspect of it, but I cannot look past the CG, and it's a good story. It is not a great story, it is a good story. And everything else kind of just it kind of doesn't help it. Um the reason Tristan thinks it's an A is because of Michael B. Jordan. That's why he thinks it's an A. And he's not wrong. Michael B. Jordan is the strongest part of that movie. I just think T'Challa is better in other movies than this. I think he's better in the Avengers movies than he is in this one. And I don't like any of the other characters. I think Shuri is just so bad. And she gets worse, just so you know. So it's a B minus. It's a B minus. Tristan, but you can't say but still Michael B. Jordan. Don't say Michael B. Jordan in the next comment. Because it's not. It's not. You can't. It's one person. And Chadwick Boseman is better in every other movie. And I'm gonna be really honest with you too. The soundtrack for this movie, it's okay. It's not anything to write home about. It wasn't Kanye that did Kanye do the soundtrack for this movie? It was like a big deal when it came out. Like everybody was like, "Oh yeah." Yes, Tristan, we get it. You have a man crush on Michael B. Jordan. I have a man crush on Michael B. Jordan. I just think, you know, I just think he cannot be the only one to prop up this movie. Okay, let's move on. Let's see. What do we got? Oh, all right, boys and girls. Here we come to the fun part. Infinity War. Excuse me. Infinity War is an A. Infinity War is an A. Infinity War is a fantastic movie, and I'm gonna tell you this right now because we're gonna get into this literally next. I think is that the next movie? Is that the next one? Oh God, no, it's not. Wild. Okay, well, whatever. Infinity War is an A. It is such a good movie. It is a great standalone movie, and it is a better movie objectively than Endgame. I just like Endgame better. Avengers Infinity War does something that no other movie was brave enough to do, and that is it let the bad guy win. That is something that nobody else has been able to do. It let the bad guy win, which is is crazy. Actually, you know what? Hold on. I'm gonna edit this title. I'm gonna say Marvel tier list. Come at me, bro. There we go. That's a better title. Oh, I didn't talk about whatever. It's fine. No. Oh. What? Okay. Um. Okay. Whatever. I can't do this for some reason. Never mind. Okay. Hey, welcome our second viewer. I don't know if that's me or that's somebody else, but comments in the chat. Tristan, my brother, is talking too. We're doing a Marvel tier list, which is a lot of fun. Yeah. So Infinity War, definitely an A. Solid movie. Great movie. Does something that no other comic book movie has done before, and that's allow the bad guy to win. All right, next one. Ant-Man and the Wasp. Ant-Man and the Wasp is, which one was this? Oh yeah, this is a C. This is a C. Actually, you know what? This is a D. Ant-Man and the Wasp is a D. It was fun. And it was fun to go around San Francisco, but like it wasn't that meaningful. Ghost as a bad guy was kind of interesting, but also kind of not. So I'm gonna put that in D. Next one. I don't really have anything more to say about that one. Okay, here we go, folks. Captain Marvel is an F. This is by far one of the worst Marvel movies, literally in existence. I just need everybody to know that. Like, it's bad. Oh, why? Hold on. It's really bad. Hold on. I need to change this because you guys can't see my. Oh, where are we? Where's my mouse? Oh, there we go. Okay. I'm gonna make me smaller. Yeah, thank you, Tristan. I agree. Captain Marvel's garbage. Brie Larson, she can act in other things. She can't act when, like, I don't know what's wrong with her, but like the minute she gets onto a Marvel movie, she can't act for crap. She is so bad in this movie. She's bad in Infinity War too. Oh, I guess no, she's not in Infinity War. She's in Endgame. She's garbage. She's so bad. So, and then to top it all off, they made it so that Nick Fury losing his eye was from a cat scratch that just so happened to be an alien cat. Not anything cool. Just a cat scratched his eye and it got infected and now his eye don't work no more. That's how stupid this is. Oh, it's so bad. And it's really sad because they wasted Jude Law on this movie. Jude Law is a great actor, like so good, and they wasted him on this movie. Ugh, it hurts. It literally hurts my soul. It literally hurts my soul. Okay, well, it's 8:01. We're gonna keep pushing through this. This is just gonna be a longer stream. Okay, next. Captain Marvel's so bad. Ugh. Okay, well, now we're coming up to the two of the best movies. Endgame is an S. Endgame is an S. Endgame is a literal comic book. It is literally a comic book that just got all the pages got ripped out and shoved onto the big screen. This is also the movie that I will always remember my movie going experience. I've told this story so many times it's not even funny. But when I went and saw Endgame, the scene where where Thor is just getting the crap beat out of him by Thanos, and all of a sudden you see Mjolnir and it lifts up and it goes shooting by Thor and shooting by Thanos, and it's Captain America that grabs it. When he grabs the hammer and goes like this, utter chaos in the theater. I remember because I was sitting next to one of my friends from college and a random ass dude next to me, right? When he grabs the hammer, my buddy and I grabbed each other's shoulders, and me and the random dude next to me grabbed each other's shoulders, and we were all screaming and shaking each other. Like, that's how amazing the movie going experience was in this movie. Like, it was utterly amazing. I can't even. I rewatched this movie. It's 3 hours long, and I've rewatched this movie probably more than any other Marvel movie to date, and it's 3 hours long. It's fantastic. It's fantastic. Okay. What's the next one? Spider-Man: Far From Home. S tier. Another S tier. Where is it? Wait. Oh no, Far From Home. Far From Home is not an S tier. Never mind. My bad. Far From Home is a B. Yeah, Far From Home is a B. I really do. Actually, I'm being. No, you know what? I put Black Panther in a B, so I can put this in a B. Ugh, I still can't believe I put Black Panther in a B. It's a C. Spider-Man: Far From Home is fun. It's a very fun movie, and I like rewatching it because it's fun. Jake Gyllenhaal is great in this movie. He's another reason I rewatch this movie. Them going across and like going to Europe is really good, and the Happy Hogan and Spider-Man scenes are very good as well. So overall, yes, it's definitely a B. It has its shortfalls, but it's very good. It's a good movie. Okay. I guess. Wait, what? Oh yeah, that makes sense. Okay, Black Widow. Where are you? Black Widow. As much as I wish, Black Widow's a C plus. I really like this movie. Just gonna say. Um, again, for the fact that the two more like spy-esque Captain Americas are in my S tier, should explain why I really like this movie. I like the spy side of Marvel. I think they've done an amazing job with it. And seeing the Red Room and exploring this pre Infinity War Black Widow is really cool. I think this would have been a B or an A if it had come out before Infinity War. I think the fact that it came out as like a retroactive solo film hurts it. I really do. And so that's why I have to put it in C. If it had come out before Infinity War, this would be a B, A or B, because I do really enjoy this film. I think it does a lot of cool things. Also, the Taskmaster part though also is really annoying because they completely changed the Taskmaster character. So that's an issue. That's a thing that I don't like about this movie also, is that they did that. Because the comics Taskmaster is really cool. All right, Shang-Chi and the Ten Rings. Where are you? Right here. Oh, this is a B. I can't put this in an A, because it does have its issues. But I had so much fun with this movie. This movie's fantastic. The San Francisco in this movie, actually, you know what? Yeah, you know what? I'm putting this in A. Tristan, I don't know if you've seen this movie or not. This is a great movie. You need to watch this movie. Um, I guess we have two viewers, which I don't know if that's me. I don't know if I'm the other viewer. That would be pretty funny if it is. Anyways, Why am I? What? Okay. Um. Yeah, Shang-Chi, great movie. A lot of fun. The bus scene in and of itself is so good. And the martial arts in this movie are fantastic. Simu is great. He's great. I'm really excited to see him in future Marvel projects. So I definitely put this in an A. All right, what's next? Oh, ladies and gentlemen, I get a lot of hate for this one. Eternals. F. This movie is just boring as all hell. Um, this movie is, ugh. It's it's so sad that this movie is so boring. Like, I'm gonna be really honest, because the cast is pretty stellar. Like, they have a very good cast, but it is boring. It's also very pretty. The most interesting part of the Eternals is literally the prologue, because they do a Lady Galadriel explains the War of the Ring in the intro, like a prologue, and that is really cool. And all of the space scenes with the Celestials, really cool. The Eternals themselves, so boring, so boring. They have, and now I'm blanking on her name. It's Brad Pitt's wife. What is her name? Anyways, they have her in this movie. Let me pull up this real quick because I'm gonna lose my mind if I can't remember her name. Eternals. Oh, it's Angelina Jolie. They have Angelina Jolie in this movie. She's a fantastic actress, but somehow they gave her the most boring dialogue on the planet to the point that she just was boring. Another guy, Richard Marsden, the guy who plays, he's in the new Amazon show, The Citadel, which is a fantastic show, by the way. Go watch it. Um, he's in this, boring as hell. It's just all of it boring as hell. Um, pretty pretty movie, and the the director, you can tell she knows how to direct. They just had a really terrible script. So Eternals is an F for sure. I get a lot of hate for that one for some reason. Spider-Man No Way Home, S. This is an S tier. This is an S tier. This movie is so good. So good. Um my top 3 Marvel movies are Winter Soldier, Endgame, uh, and Spider-Man No Way Home. Spider-Man No Way Home fully, it gets rid of every critique that everybody had about the MCU Spider-Man. Because what Spider-Man No Way Home does is make you realize that the last 3 Spider-Man movies and his entire play with the Avengers in Infinity War and Endgame, all of that is his origin story. So he got 5 movies to exploring his origin story, because we get the great power comes great responsibility speech from Aunt May. Gut wrenching. This is the movie also that I realize, holy crap, Tom Hiddleston can act. Like, he kills it in this movie. And this is the movie that puts Tom Hiddleston as my number one, or not Tom Hiddleston, Tom Holland. Sorry. There's too many Toms in the MCU. Tom Holland is my favorite Spider-Man. And it's because of this movie. It's fantastic. It's absolutely fantastic. Um, I have no bad things to say about this movie. Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. Doctor Strange and the Multiverse. Oh, wow. Scrolling too far. Multiverse of Madness. This is an F. Actually, yeah, it's just not enjoyable. It's not fun. I don't enjoy it. Um, they had a very interesting concept, but it fell apart. It did not work the way that they wanted it to. Um, we got some cool fan servicey moments, like we got um John Krasinski as Mr. Fantastic, and we got Patrick Stewart back, and we got Black Bolt from the television for the TV show back, which was all cool, but like it didn't really matter to the story. And again, I don't really care for Wanda, and I don't really care for um, Doctor Strange. I think Doctor Strange is better in the Avengers films than anything. Um, I'm gonna go back real quick because I just realized that I skipped a couple things. Um, so shows wise, Falcon and the Winter Soldier is a is a neat is a I need to rewatch it again. Um, Falcon and the Winter Soldier is probably a D. Um, it was cool. Falcon and the Winter Soldier was cool. I just really hated what they did with the characters. I think they tried to do some woke BS that harmed harmed the show. They had to rewrite the script because the original script was that they were going to be going that the world was going to be going through a pandemic um after Endgame, and then we were all in COVID, so it was like, oh, this is too real world. So they decided to change the script. I will always champion the fact that I think this show should have been the show where we got Winter Soldier as the new Captain America, because in Endgame, Steve hands the shield to Sam and says, "Hey, it's your turn," which is great and all. But my forever pitch for Falcon and the Winter Soldier is that Falcon goes, you know what? I can't live up to this responsibility. Hands the shield off to Bucky. Bucky says, "Okay, I'll do it." And in the process, as he's trying to deal with his PTSD and him trying to make amends with the people that he hurt as the Winter Soldier, and Falcon is trying to deal with the fact of figuring out who he is now that his friend is gone. And it's in that whole series that Winter Soldier is trying to be Cap, but it's just not working. It's something's off. And at the very end, he hands the shield to Falcon and says, "Hey, you know what? I can't do this because I still have so much of my baggage that I need to deal with, but you need to be the next Captain America." And I think that would have been better than this being just like, oh, this is when Falcon's origin story. But that being said, um, and then we'll go to the next show because I accidentally skipped these shows. All right, Loki. Oh, people are gonna hate me on this one. Loki is also Loki's a C. Loki's a good show. I just don't care. I just don't care about the character. Um, this is a this is the Loki that got away in Endgame. So he's a time variant, and he hasn't been through Ragnarok. He hasn't been through Infinity War. He hasn't been through Endgame. So he's just reset to like Avengers 1 Loki. I hate it. I don't like it. I don't care. Um, season 2 is actually coming out the end of this week. So I'll be very interested to see if I like Loki after um, this second season. I don't like this. I didn't care for this show. It's very well done. It's probably one of the best of the Marvel shows. I just I don't care. I just don't care. I don't care about it. Okay. So then I think it's WandaVision. WandaVision is an A. WandaVision's an A. WandaVision's a great show. The first 3 episodes, the first 3 episodes are absolutely fantastic. And then the show is great the whole way through. I think it's a very interesting study on grief, and it uses TV and sitcom in such a really, really cool way. Really cool way. Okay. Now let's see. Do we have yeah, what if? What if is a C. Um there's a lot of really good parts of this show. I just think the overall execution didn't work out the way that I thought it was going to. And so that's why I think it's a C. And then I think is Hawkeye next? Let's see. What's next? Oh no, it's Moon Knight. Wait, what? No. No, Hawkeye. Hawkeye is next. Is great. Hawkeye's an A. Hawkeye's an A. I love this show. I think this show's great. Um they do so what they do in this show is that they tell us that Hawkeye, they give us a hearing aid for Hawkeye, which is something that is in the comics. And so it's really interesting to see, because what they do is they essentially say that, hey, as one of the Avengers that doesn't have any powers, he has gotten beaten up over the years. And this is a great show about family. It introduces Kingpin. It introduces Haley Steinfeld, whatever her last name is, as Kate Bishop. Great characterization of Kate Bishop. They bring Florence Pugh back in this, and at the very end, it's very well done. Love it. It's a great Christmas. I rewatched it for Christmas. It's so good. The scene where his hearing aid breaks and his son calls him, and Kate Bishop has to like write out what his son is saying, and he has to like react as if he can hear his son, is so heartbreaking, because you watch Clint so mad that he can't be there for his son. It is it's such a great scene. Such a great scene. Okay, let's see. Moon Knight. Moon Knight. I think Moon Knight was an A. I would almost put this in an S. Yeah, you know what? I'll put it in an S. I think Moon Knight was an S. I think Moon Knight is fantastic. As one of the Marvel shows, you know what? Moon Knight is an S. Oscar Isaac as Spectre is amazing. The switching between the personalities is fantastic. Seeing like another personality all of a sudden pop out is also really cool. The suit is really dope. The world is really cool. I think it was great. I think it was really good. I enjoyed every minute of it. So yeah, I think we're moving on to films again now. Okay. So the next one, and then we're caught up, is Miss Marvel. Miss Marvel is an A. I was so skeptical about Miss Marvel. I did not watch it for the longest time because I was like, this thing is gonna be crap. It's gonna be so bad. And then I binged it because we were gonna talk about it on the show, and I was very surprised. I really did enjoy it. Actually, you know what? There are some issues. There's some. There's some issues. So I'm gonna put it's a B plus, A minus. It's very good. It's a very solid show. It's fun. The girl who plays Kamala Khan is really cool. She's a very good actress. I just feel bad that she's being put into a movie with Brie Larson in the Marvel sequel that's coming out. That's also going to be hot garbage. So yeah. Okay, now Thor: Love and Thunder. This is another movie that I had such high hopes for, and it so badly let me down. This is a D. I had fun with it the first watch, but the the more and more I rewatch this film, the more and more I see all of the holes in this film. This film it sucks because like it starts off like the suit that Thor starts off with is the best suit that they've had. It's got the fuzz, it's got like the furry collar, he's got the cool, it's almost all black with some hints of gold. Very cool. Very cool. Um it gives us like a workout scene of him like getting back into shape after Endgame, after Fat Thor. Um, a lot of cool pieces. It just never comes together. They really screwed the pooch on Christian Bale as the villain. He was great. It just the script just didn't feel like it came together well enough. So yeah, it was a sad, it was a hard letdown. Okay, She Hulk. Oof. Um, I don't think She Hulk is an F. I think it's an E. It's it's meh. It's just kind of meh. Um, there are some parts that are really interesting, but like overall, it was weird. It's weird too because like it's just very strange, and I just don't know if it all fully comes together well enough. So, okay, Werewolf by Night. This is an S. This is their like this is their Halloween movie, and like I just said, it's coming out this year as a in color rather than black and white. This movie is fantastic. It's fantastic. It's you got to go watch it. Absolutely go watch it. Yes, go watch it. I can't. There's nothing really I can say anything more that I could say that like makes sense of why. So, also, I guess Guardians of the Galaxy 3 isn't on here, so I'm gonna have to um yeah, we'll get there. I'm trying to get us moving. I'm trying to move us through so we can get out of here at an hour and 30. Um, okay, Wakanda Forever. F. Wakanda Forever is so bad, and I know, I get it. Everybody, like, I get it. Like you're like, no, it's not. Eh. She Hulk is an F. Um, hold on. There's no E. We're just there we go. We're just doing Fs. Wakanda Forever is an F. It's bad. The problem is like none of the motivations for characters make any sense. Um, it does a really good job of giving us a in-world, in-universe reason for T'Challa's death, for Chadwick Boseman no longer being Black Panther. They say he died from a virus that Shuri could not figure out why. Like she couldn't figure it out, which is very cool. I think that's very interesting, and it works. But then that's Shuri's motivation for the like first half of the film. It's what she's pissed off at the world. She hates everyone. She's like just up. She just wants to fight, 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 fight. And it's because she couldn't figure out how to cure her brother. It really, to me, it didn't make sense why she was so mad at the world and why she was willing to like link up with Namor as like her enemy and be like, yeah, let's go do this. Like, just didn't make sense. And then when Namor finally kills her mom, I'm like, okay, now your vendetta makes sense. Like now we're somewhere. Now it makes sense. But it's very it's very pretty. It just it was not it's not a good script at all. Okay. Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas is a B. It's fun. There's not a lot of substance to it. But it is fine. It is what it is. Um Definitely a must watch if you're gonna watch it like if you're watching through everything, definitely a watch. And Quantum Mania is an F. It's not good. Um, it's better than I thought it was gonna be. But it's still not good. Um, what they did with MODOK was really weird, and the fact that in this movie they introduce Kang the Conqueror, and this is the Kang that's supposed to be for setup for Avengers. Um, and he loses to Ant-Man. It's like, what? Why? Like now he's not scary. Like now we're not scared of him like at all. Um, so just it's not good. And then the last one on the list, which for some reason um they have not added this, Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is an S tier. Guardians of the Galaxy 3, I absolutely adore. That film is fantastic. Um, and I love it so much. Um, it's very depressing. Just let that be known. But it is such a good film. It it closes the chapter on a lot of those the characters, what those characters were going through Endgame. It closes the chapter on it. The Gamora stuff still doesn't really make a lot of sense. So like there is that problem. But I absolutely would put that in S tier. Yeah. So let me know what you guys think. Would love to hear where you think I'm wrong. We will next week. I will show Landon this list and see if he wants to change anything or where he disagrees with me, because I think that's going to be fun. If you guys like this, I think we'll probably try to do more of these, especially like DC. We need to rank DC. Um, Obviously this is like a tier list, so it's not like a hey, what's your order of Marvel from 1 to whatever 35, 36. Um, but it's a pretty good indication of like what where I feel everything should be. Um, yeah, even that like the S tiers, that's 1 through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 1 through 6 for sure. Um, yeah, but yeah, at the end of the day, let us know. Drop the comments. Let us know where you think it works. Let us know where you don't think I'm right. I feel like if I'm gonna get any heat for any of this, I so badly want to move Black Panther to C. It's not even funny. Um, Looking at this list, but I'm not going to. I'm going to leave it. I think the biggest ones that I'll probably get hate over is Loki. Loki is probably the one that I'll probably get the most hate over. Being it at C because everybody loves it. But yeah, let us know what your guys' lists would be, where you would change, what not. And I will see you all. Hold on. I'll see you guys all next week. Have a great rest of your week, guys, and hopefully this was fun. Enjoyed.